So I had the weirdest business meeting that I've had in recent times. And even though I've attended hundreds of meetings and I thought that I saw them all, this was a meeting like no other. The reason being is that they had no clear reason why they wanted me in that meeting, and they were not interested in anything that I've said. So I just sat there listening to them until I realized the mysterious reason behind their dismissive and weird attitude, and I unlocked the key to collaborating with them and finding a way to work together. Hi, my name is Ahmed. I am the technical director at Rihal, the largest software company in Oman. In every video, I document my achievements, my failures, and anything that I've learned that I would love to share with you. In today's video, I talk about how I managed to approach this technical meeting that was very challenging because of how dismissive and unclear of what's going on in this meeting and why I was needed. The goal of every meeting that I attend is essentially, how can I build trust with this client so that we both feel like we want to work together to solve and discuss technical business problems. Essentially, I want the client to feel like Rihal is the right partner for them, that they want to work with us because they feel like we are the only ones that understand them and who are capable in solving their software problems. We want to walk away from this meeting feeling like we are 100% confident in delivering the solution because we understand the problem really well and we can deliver that solution, fulfilling every requirement that they have mentioned to us or with us. But the meeting did not allow me to understand how can I establish and achieve that goal. So what happened in that meeting? There was a technical business meeting that was set up with a potential client. This was the second round that was going to be conducted with this potential client alongside my business colleague. However, on the day of the meeting, my colleague said that he was not gonna attend the meeting because he had an urgent commitment that he had to attend to. Typically, when I attend meetings, clients usually welcome me in two ways. It's either a very warm welcome, where the client would warmly receive me at their offices, welcome me very strongly, and he would shake my hand, introduce me around the office, maybe introduce me to some of the people attending that meeting. The second way, however, is more of a formal welcome. Hey, my name is so-and-so. What's your name? Oh, great to meet you. I heard that you guys do something similar to what we need, so let's sit down and talk about that. But in this meeting, none of that happened. As soon as I sat down, I realized nobody was in the meeting room. I had to wait for about 5 to 10 minutes until everyone attended. And as soon as everyone sat at the table, they immediately jumped into the problem, saying, all right, so here's the problem that we're facing. Now, the issue with that is I did not understand the full requirements of what's going on, and I did not understand who are they and what do they do and how does this problem tie to their function and the overall business objective of their company. So I was not able to get the key information that I would typically use to suggest something that would be sustainable for them, that is suitable for their business, and then finally addressing the core issue. After 10 minutes of them talking about their problem, I tried to slow down the meeting so that I can at least introduce myself and my company so that they can understand who am I and how can they cater what they're saying to me so that we can find common ground. But immediately when I did that, they dismissed me and they just continued talking about their problems. They said, oh, we know who you are. And they continued talking about their problem. But again, they did not change the things that they're going to be saying throughout the meeting. They continued talking just about their problem. Again, leaving out key information that I need to really help them out, and in return, not tying what they were the problem that they were talking about to the overall objective of their business. My second attempt to address this so that I know what to say so that I understand the objective of this meeting, after another 10 minutes of them explaining the problem, I suddenly interrupted them and say, hey, okay, so we managed to solve this problem. We did this solution for X company and Y company. And by the way, those companies are your competitors. So y'all are in the same industry. We managed to solve it for them. Clearly, we can do them for you. We can do the same thing for you. That did not work. I thought that by establishing that sort of credibility that we've done this work, and we've done that the same work for XY companies that are similar to you, so surely we can do the same thing for you. That did not work. He dismissed me again, continuing to talk about the problem at hand. After a few minutes, I interrupted them again, and I asked them, so what do you want from me? Would you like me to come up with a proposal explaining how we're going to do this, going to build this solution for you at what cost? Do you want me to stand up now and explain in more detail how we're going to solve this software solution for you? And he said, no, he's not interested in that, and continued again talking about the problem. At this point, I was very confused. None of my approaches helped. I don't understand why I was needed in that meeting. And I decided that I'm going to just stay quiet until I get enough information to understand what's going on here and what do they need me for in this meeting. Now, in the absence of my business colleague, who already has some background information, if he was going to be there, if he would have attended the meeting with me, he was going to be able to identify the gap between me and them and address that. But again, due to his absence, I did not have that information that he was going to be able to deliver in the meeting. It was up to me to understand what are they actually looking for and how can I find a way to collaborate with them. This continued until they dropped a piece of information that just unlocked everything. They mentioned that previously they hired a company to solve a very, very similar problem, and they ended up paying them a lot of money. The company that was procured or contracted to do this work built the solution, but it did not end up solving the problem for them. And they're back to square one, trying to solve the problem again, and likely will end up paying the same amount of money, if not more, to solve it again. So they were very skeptical of anyone coming in saying they can do the work, saying that this work will cost X amount of money, because they already went down that road, but it did not end up solving the problem for them. So the issue of trust here is huge for them. That's why they were dismissive of anything that I was going to be saying in the meeting, just because they probably heard it before. They went down a road that was suggested by another previous company. It did not work for them. So when I realized that, I told them, what if I do part of the work for free, at least the tricky part, so that you can see we can actually deliver the solution for you. That was the first moment after 35 minutes of them dismissing me and being very frustrated when talking about their problem, that I saw them breathe a sigh of relief and actually smile and, listening to what I had to say. So they looked at me skeptically. They said, well, wait, you can do this for free? I said, well, I cannot do everything for free. But if you give me the trickiest part, the part where you feel like the other company failed, at least if I can deliver that for you for free, I'll show you that I can actually deliver, that I'm just not all talk, but we can actually do the technical work at hand. Everything changed. The skepticism from them disappeared. And that's when we started to actually talk about how would that look like for them and between us working on that opportunity, or at least that part of work for free. I can see that the biggest boss in the meeting was really opened up about working together, and he was very excited, to the point that he said, thank you, Ahmed, for your time. We'll reach out to you. Even though the meeting still had 20 minutes, that's when I understood, oh, okay, he wants me to leave. And he heard enough, and he wants to discuss it further internally only without me in that meeting room. So I left, but I left feeling like, wow, that was very tricky. And it required me to actually slow down and listen to them rather than just actively trying to find ways to respond to them. And honestly, if you saw my previous video, you would have seen that was a weakness of mine that I was trying to address, and thankfully I addressed it just in time before this meeting happened. And honestly, it's all thanks to this book. Probably a lot of you have seen it already. Never Split the Difference. Because in this book, he was talking about how the writer, an ex-negotiator, would talk to kidnappers when they would they kidnap hostages. So he was really trying to ensure that the hostages would be, freed without any harm. One of the things that he learned and he applies is something called actively listening to the other side. So you're not trying to listen to respond only, but you're trying to listen with your heart, so that you can understand what's going on here that would help me understand this person better and unlock this situation, this problem at hand. But the biggest lesson that I've learned from this meeting is that, as technical people, as software engineers, as just programmers in general, we usually think that every problem can get solved with just a technical solution. But it turns out that the trust sometimes is the real issue. And no software can solve that. No software can solve human problems sometimes.